Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I hope your dreams are coming true and you keep dreaming big. There's nothing that can stand in your way, nothing can stop you. The only one thing that can stop you is yourself. Guys, it's the 25th of the third month, 2025. It's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I'm here in south of Johannesburg. Yeah, guys, I just want to talk about this habit that I see mostly high-skilled or experienced drivers do. And then I said, let me just share my 2 cents to the story. And maybe one of these drivers will come across my video, view it, and maybe it'll help. And if it doesn't help, it's okay. If you feel like it's not a video for you, that's okay. You can just scroll. But guys, if you've been driving for a while, if you're driving a truck, for example, you're driving from one destination to the next. One thing I noticed about the drivers is when they pull up to the stop and do whatever, they cut the engine off same time. Just from stopping, and then they cut the engine off same time. Guys, you don't want to do that with these vehicles. And for example, even if you are driving a light motor vehicle, just your normal car every day, to just cut the vehicle off like that, it's not advisable. But for now, let me talk about trucks, and I'll just give you an advice. You don't want to just stop and cut the engine off without giving it a slight idle. For example, if you give it easy a minute to 2 minutes of idle, and then you can switch it off, that's enough. That's okay. And then mostly you have to refer with the user manual of most of the vehicles. They'll tell you how long you have to keep your vehicle idling. Let me explain how the engine works. That's even the cars too. It just works about almost the same. You see, when you start up, the engine runs with oil and water, and oil is all the way all the way down to your sump. That's where they keep the oil. So in order for the oil to reach up there by your cylinder head, where you have your crankshaft, your hydraulic lifters, where you have your all the tempered stuff on top of there, in order for the oil to reach up there, there's a thing they call it an oil pump. So when you start up, the oil pump sends the oil all the way up to your cylinder head through the oil channels. In order for the oil to lubricate all the moving parts, because the moving parts are metal, so the metal to metal contact is going to damage your engine. So the oil helps to keep the engine cool, and then it helps to lubricate the metal to metal contact onto your engine. So the oil will run all the way back and forth as you are driving. So that's the work of a oil pump. So the oil circulates as you're driving. It circulates, it goes all the way to the turbo, and then the turbo spins very, very fast. So when it spins fast, the turbines, it gets hot. So when it gets hot, the oil comes into play. It cools the engine down. It cools the engine, it cools your motor, it cools your turbochargers, and that's what the oil do. It cools it up, and then it lubricates at the same time. That's what the oil do. So when you're driving, your oil is everywhere on your engine, running on your oil channels. It's on the top of your cylinder head, it's on your turbo, it's everywhere. So when you come to your destination, you stop and you cut the engine off same time. So what you're doing is, you see the oil that is left onto your engine, that oil that is left onto your cylinder head, it's left onto your turbocharger that was cleaning, it stays there. The little bit that will go all the way back down to the sump, it will stay there. So what happens to the oil when it doesn't circulate? It gets dry. The term they use, I think it's gunk, or it's there are some other terms they use when the oil is dry. So when the oil is dry, and then you keep doing this all over again and again and again, and then your engine and your turbocharger will wear prematurely. But if you give it time to idle, whenever you stop, you give it time to idle, all the oil that's on the turbocharger, it will slowly disperse all the way back to your sump, from your engine, from your crankshaft, from your camshaft, from your cylinder head. It will go all the way back through the oil channels back into your sump. And then you give it like a minute or 2 minutes. And nowadays trucks, they actually If you start the truck today, it will start for a few given minutes of time, maybe about 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and then it cuts off on its own. If you come to a stop when you was driving, leave the truck, hit your handbrake and do whatever you want to do, the truck will switch off on its own when it's ready. It doesn't switch off same time. It'll idle for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It depends on what is the duration based on the factory, but it'll cut off around that time. So my point to you is, when you're driving, you stop wherever you want to stop. Just keep your motor idling for 2 minutes, for 3 minutes. You'll see the right amount of time, but it needs to idle, and then it takes all the oil back to your cylinder head, and then you'll save your engine. Your engine will run a long time, and your turbocharger, even in your car that you drive every day, it's just about the same thing. It's just about the same procedure. You just don't have to switch it off same time. Mostly the turbocharged cars. Just give it some time. Don't switch it off at the same time. Just give it some time to clear up, take all the oil back down, and then your engine, your turbocharger, and your stuff won't wear prematurely. I hope that sinks in. And if you feel like maybe you don't understand what I'm saying, hit me in the comment section, or just go into your Google and get some stuff. You'll find a lot of these videos that talk about this, and then it should help you guys. Peace.